Hi guys, this is going to be a video on all about the tattoo stretch. I've been promising this video for a while, so it's finally had a bit of time to make it. A lot of people know why we stretch, the fundamental, the primary reason why we stretch the skin when we're tattooing, and it's because we'll just draw this here. Let's say this is the needle going into the skin. If the skin hasn't been stretched, then what you're going to do is the needle can actually push the skin down rather than piercing it, so you get like a dip in the skin like this when the needle's going up and down. And you might think that can't happen because it's a sharp needle, but it can, and it happens even more common when you get in bigger configurations like an 11 round liner, or like a 15 mag or something like that, when you've got more area spread out and pushing the skin down. So what we do, we make a nice tight canvas on the skin, make that nice and tight, and the needle can pierce the skin rather than it pushing the skin down. So that's the main reason why we stretch, and that's the reason that most people will give if you ask any tattooist why we stretch the skin. But a lot of people don't realize, especially people that are new to the business, or that they're still learning, the other reason why we stretch, which I'm going to explain, and it has a massive effect on the quality of the line. And what I mean by that is, if you've ever pulled a line, and when people, when they're just starting out tattooing, they tend to have a problem with this. They'll pull a line, and the line, it looks like it's in, but when they wipe off, it's all mottled and half in and half-arsed, and if you didn't go back over that and you left it like it was, it'd probably fall out when the tattoo was healed. And again, there can be a lot of reasons why this happens. It could be, cheap ink, it could be bad equipment, needles, it could be a lot of things, but one of the main reasons that this happens is purely down to the stretch. And if you have been having this problem, hopefully if you apply what I'm about to show you at the end of this video, it might help a few people out. So we've already mentioned the primary reason why we stretch, obviously to make the skin nice and tight, and the needles to pierce the skin. So for this video, I'm going to use an analogy, which I do. I use a lot of analogies. If you watch my videos, if you subscribe and like this video, if you like what you're seeing, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos. But a lot of the time, I'll always refer to stuff with tattoo techniques in analogies. I often refer to rotary machines and coil machines, comparing them to cars, manuals versus automatics and things like that. And because, like I've said in a lot of videos before, I strongly believe in knowledge is power, and often you'll watch some tutorial video on YouTube and it turns out to be not quite a tutorial video, but it's often just some dude chilling with his tattoo machine saying, look how good I am. And which is all good, I enjoy watching those videos, but if you're gonna up your game and hopefully improve on your tattoo technique, then I strongly believe that you need to have the knowledge behind what you're doing instead of just watching someone. Because you're just watching someone with their tattoo machine, it's good to watch, but ultimately if that person isn't explaining what they're doing, and it might not be a conscious thing that they're not explaining, it might just be they're just chilling with the machine and showing you what they're doing, but there's so many things going off in their head that they're doing subconsciously, the hand technique, the stretching, the way they hold the machine, that all that stuff might just go amiss on the video, and then you go and try and apply those techniques and it doesn't work for you. So hopefully, like I say, this analogy will help a few people out. So I'm going to use the analogy of the skin with this balloon, okay? So I'm just going to put a little bit of air in this balloon, and then we're going to compare this to skin that hasn't been stretched. Okay, so we've got a balloon here, and we're going to say this is unstretched skin, okay? So it's pretty squashy. So when skin hasn't been stretched, this is what's happening, okay guys? And I'm just going to show you this to start with, and then I'm going to explain why it does what it does. So this is unstretched skin. So let's pretend this Sharpie is the tattoo machine, and I'm just going to pull a line on this unstretched skin. There it is. Okay? Now I'm going to pull another line underneath this, but with the skin stretched. So I'm going to put some air in the balloon. Now obviously you don't stretch the skin to this extent, but it's just an analogy. I'm just trying to explain what the stretching is doing to the skin. So I'm going to put some air in the balloon. Okay, so I put some air in the balloon. Now I'm going to draw the exact same length line underneath this line, okay? Now what's happened there is, although the lines are at exactly the same length, because I've increased the area of the skin, I've actually got more ink in the area than the top line, okay? So let's, for example, say this is 10 centimeters, this line. This has got 10 centimeters of ink in it when it's unstretched. Now if I've stretched this to, say, double the size of it, I've actually got double the ink in the line that's in the top line. And that results in, when you let go of the stretch, you can see the difference in quality in lines, okay? Now the top line, again, this is unstretched skin. Look how mottled it is, look how weak it is. Now look at the bottom, because the bottoms have been stretched really out far, and then we'll put that ink in, and then it's more compact. So basically, let me show you what's happening. Okay, the machine is going along like this. This is unstretched skin, okay? So the machine's going along like this. It's making these puncture holes. Okay? So these dots are going to represent the puncture holes that the needle's making. Now, with unstretched skin, that's what you get, okay? So I'm not going to release that and then this is going to be more denser. That's what it is. So, I mean, if you were to get a result like this when you pull the line, you're obviously moving your hand way too fast. But again, this is just an analogy. Now, watch what happens when I stretch the skin. Okay? Now, I'm going to do the same, what I did, but obviously now I've stretched the skin. Okay, now when I release this stretch, you see what's happened there. And this is basically what's happening in the skin. You know, I know this is untidy and, you know, it's all wonky and whatnot, but again, I'm just trying to get to show you what's actually going on when you stretch the skin. Because you've stretched the skin, you move the machine the exact same speed along on where you're going, but because you've stretched the skin and then you release the skin, you're compacting more puncture holes into the same area, which gives you a denser line. And if you've ever had trouble pulling lines, then again this can be the reason. And also again with colour packing, and it's the same principle. If you've been having trouble colour packing and you're chilling with your machine, you're wiping off, and then it's all like, hang on, I'll show you rather than just talk about it. So let's say you're colour packing in here and you're doing these circles, you've been told, doing nice round circles with your machine, and the ink's probably pooling round a bit on the skin, and it's looking solid. And then when you wipe off, it's all mottled like this, and you're like, how are the pros doing it? I've got the same machine, I've got the same ink, I've got the same hairdo. Why am I getting this inking like the pros? And it's probably because the pro is doing this. Nice stretch. And stretching you know, when you're first starting out tattooing, you can get lazy with it, and you think, well, you know, it's not that important, or your hand just doesn't do it after a while, it just stops stretching. And it's one of those things where everything has to be working together, you know, your technique, your machine speed, your hand speed, and your stretching hand. Your stretching hand is really, really important. So now let's let that down. Now look. So this is unstretched skin, this is stretched skin. Nice and solid, mottled. And this is why the stretch is so important when tattooing. It's one of the fundamental things that will have a massive effect on your ink not looking solid and your lines looking patchy. So I hope this has cleared a few things up for some guys, and if you've liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and there'll be some more videos upcoming soon. Cheers guys.